Welcome to the GLAC Studios oil painting tutorial. We are in class 2 of the Dhanya Lakshmi painting. This is going to be one of the 8 paintings that we are working on, and this class series that you are booked into is about Dhanya Lakshmi. This is lesson 2 and I'm Gomati Sivasankran. I welcome you again to this class, and we started with the first lesson that was more into planning. Yeah, so we were looking at the reference material and planning, gridding, and so on. We will now execute the plan in our 40 by 50 centimeter canvas in this lesson, and this canvas is already um, filled with layer 1 or wash of oil paint, which was done in one of those basic sessions. So if you haven't gone to the basic sessions which are available for free, please do take a look at them and make sure that your canvas is ready with the first layer and it is dry, so you're ready to go over what we are going to do today together. Yes, so without much ado, let's get on to this session today. Yes, I'm now going to share with you what are all the things that I'm going to use. Materials again were gone through in detail in the basics, so just I'm going to just tell you what all I will use today. So we have our 40 by 50 centimeter canvas ready, and the grids that I have made in my sheet is also with me. I'm going to use only a couple of colors today. For the grids, I want to create two different grids, one for the superstructure and the other for the detail image that we had selected and done. And I'm using two different colors to help you understand, so it's not necessary that you must follow the same. So I'm going to use a blue and a vermilion, and all I have here with me is my palette with these colors, two colors. I have a piece of tissue paper and also earbuds to clean up if I make mistakes, which I do. I have a ruler with me, and I do have measuring equipments also with me. There's one here and there is a long one here as well. So these are the ones that I'm going to use in the session today. I also have a little bit of linseed oil poured into my tin can ready if needed, but yeah, mostly I won't need it. So with that, I'm going to get started with today's session. I'm going to use the blue. I have primary blue and vermilion, like I mentioned. So I'm going to use the blue first to do the grids of Dhanya Lakshmi superstructure. And what was the grid that we had agreed? We wanted to make a 10 by 10 centimeter grid on this 40 by 50 centimeter canvas, and get it ready with A, B, C, and D and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 markings. That's it. So that is the easiest part, and we can get that done super fast. But just before getting started, when we measure, so I mentioned that it is a 50 centimeter length, isn't it? So I am measuring now. So my finger is placed in the corner of my canvas, pushing this measuring device to my finger, and I see that here it is 49.5 or something, and 50 centimeters here. It's slightly off. Why do you think it is off? Yeah. Does it mean that I got a wrong canvas piece? No. It's simply the thing that when we buy canvases, we can expect that there is this bend in this canvas. There is a bend in this canvas. Why is the canvas bending? Because it is placed on a wooden, mounted on a wooden frame, and that bending takes half a quarter centimeters away from here and there. So keep that in mind when you measure. It will matter if you are really particular, especially if you are very particular onto the size, where exactly you want things to be, and so on. So it does matter. So I will just push it slightly a bit here, so I can make sure that I'm only using, the right positioning for my 10 and 20 and 30 and 40. Yeah. So I will do the same thing when I measure it again in another place. Pushing it slightly away from the mark of the, rim of my canvas. So I get that right. So this is a very, small nitty-gritty, but it does matter. If you are careless about it, then, you're slightly missing half a centimeter mark in your calculation. And yeah, we do not, luckily the picture that we have do not have any end-to-end ideas. Remember I said that when we make the lotus, we will change the lotus's form to accommodate inside. So anyways, we are going to adjust things along, but still, we need to be aware of this half a centimeter or quarter centimeter lag that we could face only because of the mounting of the canvas on the frame, a cloth mounted on a wooden frame. Yeah, that's exactly what we are handling here. Yeah? Just keep that in mind. Along the line, when I'm training you, sharing this knowledge with you on how to work with this painting, I'm also going to be sharing all these small little tips and tricks of, what to be, what to expect and what not, and so on. I'm just drawing my line without the ruler, but yeah, I'm just gauging things. It's all right. So there you go with the first line. Let me do the second, then the third and fourth. Really quick. And like I mentioned, you can use any single color to do this line. It doesn't matter. Do not worry about oh, this is another color, will it interfere with my painting and such. Oil colors do dry definitely, like other colors. And when they dry and you paint over, definitely the kind of layers that we are going to do, at one point you will forget that you even drew a grid here. So do not worry about that. I have been asked this question by many. Can I use a pencil or a pen to draw? Why are you asking us to do a paint, why are you using a paint to draw? I feel comfortable with this oil colors any which ways, and I got used to drawing these lines like this. You are welcome to use a pencil, a lead pencil, or a pen to draw, but be aware that it creates its own impression. Lead is a very strong color on its own, and lead has a very strong color on its own, and it might blend with your picture, distorting your image. Also, a ball pen, refill pen, whatever that you are using, will create another impression. Would you want that? That is one. Another point is that sometimes if you have a sharp tip could also go in and destroy the canvas. So that is something you need to be aware of. Yeah. So do not go really with this. If you have a hard hand or a strong hand in doing things, there is a possibility that you're going to damage the canvas. That is disappointing. So please be aware of that. If you can still manage without much damage and very light-handed, grid lines, then perfect. Yes, go for it. Okay, so I'm now also the 40 centimeters. I am slightly aware. Can you see that it's slightly off the rim of my canvas? So I'm placing it in such a manner that it is comfortably placed slightly away from the rim, and therefore it is really centered. So I'm going to do that again here. Done. One last line, and then we are done with this grid for the superstructure. Right. Fantastic. So looks like we are done. What I'm going to do is to name this as, A, B, C, and D. This is for our benefit. See, I'm not even worrying what's going to happen. I'm writing all these things down here. It's just because, we will definitely get rid of all these numbers and alphabets at a later point. 4 and 5, yes. So I have this superstructure grid done. Let's look at where the face is present in the superstructure. It is exactly in the grid that is crossing between B and C in row 1 and 2, isn't it? So it's really in the centroid. So this is exactly where the centroid of the face must be, which means our 10 by 10 block for the detail has to come somewhere like that. Yeah. So let's look at how the face is placed here. How best can we use this? I want, okay, the C. I'm just looking at how I want. I'm thinking that if we use the first two blocks, and these are 2 by 2 centimeter grids, and we have a 10 by 10 detailed centimeter grid calculation done here. So I'm just thinking, eyeballing, if I have the forehead covered, the forehead up to here, covered on the top layer here, will that be good enough? Looks that like it is fair enough of a size to work with. Let's look at this. And there is also another thing. I'm just looking at the possibility of having the forehead above this grid. What happens? And if we put the forehead below and only the hair above this grid, what happens? Because when we have the hair only above the grid, then we have the space enough only for a crown also. Then it isn't too much on the top. So let's do it this way. This is the centroid. Let's take this line to be a BNC. This is also a BNC, so it makes sense here to work with this like this. So 4 centimeters to this to the left of this grid we start taking, and then we use from the top we use 2 centimeters, and then we come down to the 10th centimeter. That way we'll be building a grid like this. Let's do it right away, and for that I'm going to switch into the other color, that is vermilion. So it will help you understand what I'm going to do. Yes. So what I have done is to eyeball where I want the face to be, and I am not trying to put it totally on the top, because can you see the way I have done the grids here? It looks like it will go slightly above, and we don't need to. The body itself will be of a small little girl, so it will come down further, and we will have enough space in the middle, so we don't have to push everything to the top. And that's also a reason why I decide to have only the row 1 in this grid, top row 1 grid. Yeah. So starting with the vermilion color, to show you what I'm going to do, I said I wanted 4 centimeters to the left of the center. So I'm going to take this to be the 0. That's the 0. That's the 2. This is 4 that is already here. 6, 8, and 10. So that's the column. And if I have to do the same thing here on the top, 2 centimeters above this grid is where I will start with this block. This is the 2nd centimeter. 4, 6, 8, and 10. That's where the block that is needed for the face ends. So I'm going to start marking them right away. Doing the vertical block first. This line is already here. I'm just going to repeat it. And because of the thickness of the line, it will look, it's not equal to the thickness of the line that I drew in the picture. But it is fine. I will adjust things accordingly. And when things dry, the next coat, when we do the blocking, it starts absorbing this. The line starts fading away when I'm done with the first coat of it. That's the line, isn't it? So that's where the horizontal lines are to appear. Okay. And this line is already here. just need to mark it. The next. And the last. There you go. So I have now finished doing the grids. Let's name these grids also. This is another A, B, C, D, and E. Yeah. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have this. Let me pick up another brush. This is really overloaded with color. So I'm going to start drawing, yeah, the face. Let's take the image of the child here. I'm going to have it here so that you also can see what I'm doing. I'm going to, I have placed it comfortably for my own angle here. And then you will be able to see also well here. I can move this around a bit. Yes, fair enough. So you're also able to see this. So right now, what I'm going to do is to work on the structure of this girl. We're not going to do the detailed painting right away. Like I said, we will grow this painting step by step so that, you're not feeling apprehensive or anxious to work on this. Let's start with the hair line. Where is it starting? Can we say that the tip, the head is starting in somewhere in C and then flowing through to the sides? So I'm going to start that there. C through D, and through D it goes really close to the corner of D2, and that's exactly where there is this ear also. It's crossing that, it's going into E, but then it's coming down as well. So that's the overall look of that, that side. And here a hair starts again from C, walks through into B, comes through B2, close to the tip of B2, B3, maybe crossing to A3 a little bit. There are, tiny hair strands there, but it is flowing through, it's coming through. So let's leave it there. It's just got a very nice, let's leave it there. Let's now work on the hair here, the layer here that is close to the forehead. So it's here in C1. Again, it's crossing to D. And it's coming through close to her ear here again. That's where the block is. How is the hair on the other side? It's going to be B2. Coming down here, that's the forehead. There is the slight bump that is close to the eyebrows. And then the curve happens. And that's where it's coming to B3. And from B3, you will see the nice, beautiful cheek of the girl coming through in B4. That's where, In B4, the cheek also comes to the chin, and it is in C. That's where you can see the chin. C4, you can see the chin, and then it continues to the other chin, that is from C4 it goes to the D4. Comes up to D3. Again, you see, it goes to D2. Yes, so we have the overall face structure here. All right, let's do the neckline as well. It is in B4. That's where you can see B4 comes down. And that's exactly where it comes down to the shoulder, and this is where we stop, because we have to really re-establish lines when we come to the superstructure picture. So we stop with that neckline. Here as well we can do that. Yes, so I stop here. Good. Now let's do the eyebrows and the eyes and nose and lips. Starting with the eyebrows, it's in this is all in row 2. The eyebrows are mostly, for the most part, in row 2. So I'm working on row 2, starting in C2, moving slightly above and getting close to, getting in B2. The other one also starts in C2, where it goes up and comes down to D2 and maybe down to D3 a little bit. So kind of there. The face also, the structure is slightly bigger here. Let's do this. If it helps, you can also shade this hair to help you focus on her face. Yeah. I have shaded this here as well. The focus is on her face. And this is something I teach if you are new to drawing and you find it very difficult to do the eyes. The easiest way is to think of those circles, the eyeball, or the iris and pupil put together. Where is it? It's in the center of this line between B and C, column B and C in row 3. Yes? Can we do that? Can we mark that? So I'm just going to mark that. The same thing is happening in the other eye between rows C and D. Mark that. So that makes things slightly easier. Now I have to just bring that bridge, build that bridge. So I'm just ever so lightly doing the eye line, the upper eyelid line. Yes. And here as well. So we will use micro brushes to work on the details when we come to the layers. But right now, for us to draw, I think this is fair enough to work with. Not going to do much of details. So right here, in between, right in underneath these, I could see the place where the pores of the nose is coming. That's where the pores of the nose is coming. So I'm just doing that. And the ridge of the nose. The angle of the eye. Now let's put the shade where there's a cheek, the smile is coming. That is because of that line that is there in the cheek. Let's build that on the sides. Let's now do the lips. Where is that? That's in C4. Most of it is in C4. It's coming to D4 slightly. Yeah, just be aware of that. So that's making a bit of the lip. Don't worry about all these colors around. It will all vanish within time. And when we are, moving to the blocking. So let's focus on getting the key elements that we want here. That's the upper lip. And I'm leaving the space. I'm not going to work on the teeth right away. I'm just leaving the space and building that. Underlip. We have it here. Let's look at the chin. Can we improvise a bit? I'm just trying to remove this line to see how things are because it's a little bit distracting for me. Okay, looks fair enough. Yes, and the neckline can be adjusted a little bit. Okay. Yes. So that's the overall structure. I'm not going to go into details yet, but we will definitely work on the details for her. Yes. So right now we have the face placed. So we have the face placed. Now we have to move on to building the body. She's wearing a kind of, a t-shirt kind of a thing, and that's also in the same row 5, and that's helpful because we could also do something like that. Right, so I'm going to switch to the blue color to help you understand what I'm doing, because I'm going to take the support of my superstructure now to build on the other levels of detail. Now, this is the challenging picture. We have 4 + 4, 8 hands. Yes, she's a powerful woman. But all we have to do is to start with the shoulder line first, isn't it? So the shoulder line, remember, this is a shoulder line of a small little girl, not like a woman. So try to, build it a little subtle. Bring it down as though we are thinking of only one hand now. Yeah, bring it down first. Yeah, bring it down. Let's look at these 2 hands that are in the front, that are almost, coming close to the lap. That's why it's really resting on the lap. So the shoulder is coming down, drooping down easily. So let's do that. And where is it? Yeah, I'm doing the shoulder length here in C. Now we're coming back to the blue colored C or this big C here. And also one shoulder here in the B. Brought it down. Right. Good. So I've brought it down, and now I imagine that she is going to be, before I go into the hands, we have to really understand the body framework. And the way the body is framed here, you see the bust line of the woman and the curve. We will not have such curves when we are talking about little kids. Yeah. So we have to be slightly careful about that when we are doing the body here. I'm going to place this close by. You can see that I'm not going to go for this curve, but I am just making a slight little shape, not too shapy, slight little shape here. Using the blue, I'm bringing it down. Yeah. And bringing it down in such a way that it is looking like the girl is seated, but it's not too much of a shape here. So we have this. I've got too much of this line going. I'm going to just take it off. Yeah, this is fair enough for me. And I'm looking at where the hip line is. That's where a belt. She's wearing a belt. I'm going to draw a little bit of pattern here to give an idea that there is going to be jewelry or something like that. I'm not going to go into the details, just drawing few things here. And when I do the hip, that's almost in the center, in between B and C in row 3. And that makes sense here. I'm also in the same place. So I'm just giving it a go here with the belt sort of a thing. Yeah. And then there is this lap. We might not see the lap fully here because the hands are coming. So I'm just going to leave out a very thin line, not draw that totally, because in this case the hand is going to come down totally. Yeah. So I'm going to try to do that first. So this hand is coming down. Yeah. And I'll have to be sure that it doesn't look so thick. This isn't thick. This is a perfect hand for the body of the woman, but we'll have to make sure that it's a little girl's hand. So make it less curvy and less, and this hand comes down here. Yeah, this is fun. The way the hand is placed, this palm is just, like she's going to give you something. She's just in a very, very comfortable position here, placed on the lap. So try doing that. Just sketching those lines that will depict her, fingers. Yes. 4. And then this is that's the way her hand is going to be coming. So that's one hand. Let's do the other here and see how she looks. Does this fit in her body style or so? Maybe I will pull the shoulder slightly down because it looks thick, yeah, here. Then it makes sense here. Good, fine. So if I have to do the same thing on this side, this hand also comes down here. Okay, that's where the blouse is ending, and so we have a kind of a shape in the hip, and that's why there is this distance between the arm and the hip. I want to cut down on that so that there is no, not much of a curve showing here. She's a small little girl. Let's not do too much of curve there. All right, we have this hand. What is happening with this hand? This hand is like she's blessing us, isn't it? So we'll have to have the thumb coming here and the fingers going there. That's exactly how it's going to look like. Yeah. So I'm only drawing those superstructures, not going into much of a detail. I have to adjust this slightly. The length of it has to show like this. Comes like this, and I don't need to use this. Yes, right now I have two of the hands done. Let's do the other hands too. Can we do that? Let's start with the hands on the top that are having the flower here and the grain there. Yeah. So I'm just looking at the order. That's a challenge. Yes, I think that's a fair enough idea to try. So let's get started here. I'm getting started here. With this hand and getting started here with this hand here, making those arcs for the topmost of the hands. So I'm doing two hands at the same time. Just watch, slow and steady. We're only placing things, so do not worry about the perfection. If you are getting it right, that is fine. We keep on working, towards perfection. In each and every class, we'll be improvising. So focus on getting things in the right order. So right now you see that it's in C2 that I'm working, but can you see that it's really up there, the hand? But it's because of the body that we have here. And we have also done one more thing. We have placed the face slightly lower here, so everything comes down a bit. So just keep that in mind. The thumb, and then there is this finger that is coming on the top. Three little fingers here on the side, so it gives you the space for the lotus flower here on the top. Yes, that's one. All right. This hand is also similar. And I'm going to rub off these numbers now. That's exactly where things are coming now. Yeah. So I am again bending, placing the thumb. There is this finger on the top and 3 fingers folded. And that's exactly how. So you see, I'm only marking things. And here we have 3 strips of corn or something there, wheat or something there. Yeah. I'm just leaving out the space. Okay, so we've got 4 hands, 4 more to go. Let's get that done. There's another hand here that's also going upward towards the crisscross, the crossroads of C and D 2 and 3. Yes, so we're going to reach there. So I'm building the angle here. In the same way, this also goes away. This angle. Or this angles. Right. All right. Okay. What's there in this hand? That's a lot of banana. Okay. Let's do the thumb, and there's this finger and 3 fingers crossing and holding. This one is big, so I think I will use this like this. And it's got, yeah, I'm just going to leave out the details for the next time, or maybe sometime after. So I'll just leave it like this, so it's easy for us to understand to go over later. So we know that this is the hand holding the banana. Oops, sorry. Yep. The fingers and the hand. Yes. Good. So that was done. And what about this hand? Oh, this one's got sugarcane. All right. Again, hand goes here. The thumb is here. There's another finger here. 3 fingers. Spacing. So all I'm doing is just giving those spacing and closing it and leaving that space for this. So the challenge is only about the hands. We have 2 more to go. But if we just go by the logic of where exactly, so we are just using the elbow area to build those, those other hands. And if you are wondering for why too many hands and why too many things, there used to be many years ago, there were human beings with more than one hand and so on. They were called Nagas. I think we still have cases we might have seen of people having one extra finger and so on. This isn't a kind of deformity. And Why? We still say we need to multitask, and we learn how to multitask and so many things. So maybe we can take it positively in the angle that it is just because of multitasking that we have so many hands to show. That we still try to do, isn't it? We are multitasking. Though we have two hands, we multitask. Do so many things. Okay, so that could be the thought process behind it. But yeah, we have also had a race called Nagas, where with either hands or multiple legs or whatever. Yeah, so at least in the Vedas and Puranas, we listen to such stories. Right now, I think this hand is also the last one, but not the least, is having this holding it, and it's not clearly visible, but I think we can make it come out visible slightly better in our angle if we manage to. Looks like I can. I'm going to make sure that this hand is also appearing. There is the thumb, and we'll have this holding all, this is a, I don't know what to call it in English. It's called Gadai. I don't know what to call it in English, but it is something of a war tool, if I may say so. Yeah. So I have this hand also covered. Oh, the hand challenge is done. We are nearly there. So I'm going to do the lap now. This is easier. The lap is here. Let's close. The way the lap ends is really crossing close to the grid line of C and D. And it comes down. And the way it is coming down here is also, it goes really away, slightly away, but it comes down here. I think I will close it even shorter to what you see in the grids there, because I want to look at the balance of how it looks here for the little girl, no? So this looks fair enough for me, and I will say that this is where the legs are, and you'll see less of it because there is this beautiful flower, and I am going to use I'm going to use this part of the, I think I'll start the flower here, somewhere here. I'm bringing this slightly above so you could see. So I'm starting the flower somewhere here, and I want to have large petals. So now I'm just broadly sketching where I want the petals to be. We will work on it in great detail. Again, focusing on the superstructure only. Yes, so that's where the petals is. I think I like to have the downward drooping petals as well, which isn't visible in our picture. So we have basically managed to do our Dhanya Lakshmi image. Of course, we have a lot of work to do in terms of her, the details and so on. But at least we have managed to capture the body of the little girl, and try to align the key elements. Let's give her a nice little crown. Yes. So not too much, just leaving that space there. So there is this crown. So you see that she is happily seated. And the size also looks in a way aligned to the body, aligned to the face. Yeah, the body is aligned to the face. And we have managed to complete this. Let's make a stop here. So let's summarize what we did today. Today was a little bit of execution of what we planned in our previous session. So we had to develop two types of grids that we had agreed in our first session. So we did that here. The grid that is, for the superstructure and grid for the detail. We started with the grid for the detail to do the face so that we can start building the superstructure of the goddess to fit into this body size. Then that is in alignment with the face. And we had 8 hands to work on. That's kudos to you if you have done it for the first time. This is usually the challenge with some of the god and goddesses, and like I said, there are so many meanings to it, and by the time we are finishing it, when we are completing it, we will see how good it could turn out into and beautiful it will turn out into, just the way we see this beautiful picture of Dhanya Lakshmi. We will have the little Dhanya Lakshmi also developed in few hours from now. So keep patience and keep working at it. If you have any corrections to make to this, you try your best. You take some time to rework on it, and do not get paranoid if you're not getting things so much right. Like I mentioned, we will be developing this step by step, and I want you to look at each step in its own entirety and do that step alone. Leave it. We are not going to think of how beautiful the eye is perfect looking today or not. No, that's not the mission of today's session. Today's mission was to get stuff onto our canvas board, and we have managed that. We will make a stop with this and move on step by step. Yes. Thank you very much for following this, and I hope you have liked this session and continue and see this painting through, successfully come through. Congratulations on reaching this far. Let's meet up in the next session. Stay healthy, stay blessed, stay put. Let's meet up together next class. Bye-bye.